Sage Steele. Sage Steele, let me ask you a question. Sage Steele gets suspended. Sage Steele gets suspended, and I'm going to read this to you, for comments that weren't even political. She was talking about her experiences as a biracial woman when others were comparing it to Obama, if you remember. It was her opinion that she spoke on the vaccine mandate. Her opinions don't fit the narrative. I ask why. Why? Why don't Sage Steele's opinions, her life, her story, her opinion, why don't they fit ESPN when a race-baiting, do-nothing, ratings complete disaster like Bomani Jones can say whatever in the hell they want? Anything they want. Bomani Jones on the ESPN platforms is talking about Donald Trump getting arrested. And you know Bomani Jones is all for it because that's what Bomani Jones would be for. Bomani Jones doesn't know the actual story. Nobody's going to tell Bomani Jones. But why is this? Sage Steele is, in my opinion, the most watchable person on ESPN. When I turn on ESPN, I turn it off more than I turn it on based on who is on it. Why is L. Duncan? Why is Ryan Clark's opinion more important than Sage Steele? Why? What happened to ESPN that they completely lost their mind? What happened to ESPN that they decided that when you're Kendrick Perkins or you're Matt Barnes, both of whom are on ESPN, you can MF, you can swear, you can do anything you want on social media. But Sage Steele gives her opinion on her life, her thoughts on a mandate, her thoughts as a biracial woman as compared to the Obamas, and this is somehow blown up. She gets, I don't know if she got demoted. I know she's being paid great, but all of a sudden she's not on an NBA countdown. Why? Does it not fit the narrative? Do they not like biracial women? Do they only want, quote, black women? Are they prejudiced against a conservative? Why? See, people question why I left ESPN. It's easy. It's idiotic there. Do you know how many people, how many guys call me, talk to me, and say, man, how do I get to OutKick? How can I get to OutKick? What? How do I do it? Where do I go? Women, too. Not Sage. She has a personal thing that she has to deal with that makes her stay at ESPN. But I don't think I've ever rooted for a lawsuit more in my life than Sage Steele to beat ESPN. Now, I love ESPN. Don't get me wrong. They paid for my kid's school. I was the best they had there, at least according to Norby Williamson, David Seisler, and Michael Schiffman, who run the thing. I was the best analyst they, quote, ever had at ESPN. But I couldn't wait to get out of there because I got to tell you, I'm not working with idiots. I'm not being put off of games because I'm white. And everybody you should have heard when Schiffman called me when he found out I was leaving. I said, look, you guys, you don't like the fact that I'm a middle-aged white guy. You got enough of those guys and I'm too highly paid. No, that's not it. Okay. Then why were me and Scott Johnson taken off the ACC tournament? For two African-American guys, one of whom had never worked an ACC game in his life. Well, blah, blah, blah. I had heard, and I think this is true, that your bosses at ESPN got bonuses for removing white dudes and putting minorities in higher profile positions. And if you think that's great, fine. That's your prerogative. I respect everybody's thought on that. But for me, being affected by it, I'm like, yeah, this is crap. Because I'm better than all of you. So that's why I got the hell out of here. But anyway, so why is it? Explain it to me. Why is it that Sage Steele, a biracial woman who has carried herself with absolute dignity over the years, have you ever read about Sage Steele doing anything? Have you ever seen a tweet from Sage Steele with MFer in it, like you see from Kendrick Perkins, or smoking weed like you see from frickin' Matt Barnes, or acting like an idiot like you see from most guys on ESPN? Have you ever seen it? Of course not. Her father is one of the all-time legends at West Point, which means he's one of the all-time high-character men in this country. Have you ever seen anything out of race-baiting crap out of this guy right here? Bomani Jones, I guess he's not on the screen. Of course not. Why do you think Bomani Jones still has a job? Why do you think Bomani Jones is still a thing? Worst rated sports radio show they've ever had. Worst rated TV show. Does less on HBO, read Bobby Barack's column, than infomercials on kids' channels. Yet, Sage Steele has been basically crucified by this network. Crucified by this frickin' network. For being what? A biracial woman or a conservative or both? I look at Ryan Clark on that television once in a while. I'm like, this idiot actually said he was not going to work with Sage Steele because of her conservative views, and they've allowed it. Let me explain to you how many people would leave watching ESPN if Ryan Clark wasn't on it. Zip. Zip. You're exactly right, Van Pastor, man. You're exactly right. Exactly right. Sage Steele has been nothing but class. Nothing. Nothing. Dan, yet Stephen Holder, who works for ESPN, speaks about nothing for an hour a day on 107.5, nothing new or insightful, entertaining. Stephen Holder is a writer here at Indy. Stephen Holder has been a beat writer for the Colts for 10 years. 10 years, going on his 11th. Never broken a story. Not one. Never. Has written 0 things that anybody remembers. 0. Hired at ESPN. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just know that he has. It's amazing. It's amazing the world we live in. And then I see women. It's unbelievable. I see a woman like Sage Steele, and it just breaks it doesn't break my heart. It's just so asinine, so ridiculous, so incredibly racist, so incredibly biased that it makes you puke. Salute Sage Steele. Screw the rest of you. It's my take.